Yeah, good morning. Good morning, all good. Just going for a nice, peaceful hike this morning. Nice, peaceful hike, and I was really reflecting on a topic of conversation. Would a Premier League football youth scholar team beat a non-league first team in the game of football? Well, when you sort of consider that, there's various permutations to take into consideration with that. Obviously, the level of both teams, non-league football, there's a wide spectrum of tiers. You've got the National League, the T5, all the way down to the lower steps, so to speak. But there's many things you'll consider: the experience, physicality, awareness as well. But let's sort of look, okay, Premier League youth team. Let's sort of focus on 18s, maybe even sort of 21s. Yeah, they could beat a non-league first team, but it depends on various things. Obviously, T5, the National League, that probably struggle, the 18s would struggle. And think about it this way, 98% of academy scholars are no longer playing the top 5 tiers of English football by the age of 18. So that kind of puts things into perspective. You look at the stats there and thereabouts. And you look at the EFL Trophy, by the way, we're under 21 Premier League teams, development sides face League One and League Two, and some have struggled. If the League 1-2 team puts out a full strength team, yeah, they have struggled on some occasions, but that said and done, we see friendlies, specific 11 matches. Sometimes I'll send out a youth team. They do beat semi-pro teams, and that's mainly for superior fitness and technical ability because they're training every day. So there's those permutations. I know from previous experience, I've had 2 stints obviously at Baker. We've played the likes of Oldham, obviously weren't Premier League at the time, and aren't Premier League now. They've sent a youth team, and sort of we beat them. I'm pretty sure we beat them. I'm pretty sure we beat Salford 2 one year in the pre-season. That's not trying to big ourselves up. We beat them. It's just a friendly and that sort of stuff. And, players, at least our players were probably playing within themselves too. It was a friendly sort of, get into sort of grips with the pre-season, so to speak. And that sort of gives you an idea. The physicality is a big thing. So scholars, I would say, from Category 1 academies, they receive world-class coaching. They're training every day. They've got the best coaches. They pass the ball around. They're comfortable with the ball. You've got some of the best players in the world, best of that age group coming over to play in England. So, yeah, they are obviously really, really talented. You've got to take that into consideration. So, and I said before that non-league teams, we look at National League, like the T5, you've got some seasoned professionals there. They've got physical strength. A lot of them have been in the Pro League and they're training pro now. So there is that to take consideration, the sort of the spectrum of non-league. So non-league first teams, it consists mainly of adults, so to speak, who can cope with the physical demands, the competitive environment. Some have been seasoned pros. So the youth scholars, obviously 16 to 18, is still developing physically, mentally, albeit we do see some players between 16 to 18 moving to the first team, so to speak, of Premier League teams and do well. It does happen, to be fair. But as a general rule, they're going to probably lack the strength and mature players. So, but technically, the youth scholars, they've got state-of-the-art training facilities, top coaches, they're the best of the best for their age group. And that's going to sort of be a struggle for the lower tier non-league teams, you would think. Tactical awareness as well. That's probably going to be because they're training every day as well. So there is that to sort of take in consideration, the intensity, the psychological factor. So senior players at non-league level are accustomed to intensity, to pressure of competitive matches, and that's probably going to be a challenge for the youth team to be accustomed to in that environment. But like I said before, we've seen in friendlies at times the Premier League youth team has been maybe too strong towards the end because they're training every day type thing, but you also see the opposite happen too. So I think that there's a lot of considerations. So, look at Premier League youth team scholars. They've got the technical skills. So they've got the potential to beat a non-league team, but I wouldn't guarantee it. So the outcome, as I've mentioned throughout the video, depends on the team they're playing, the tier of non-league, the match conditions, how each team is going to leverage the strength. So generally a non-league team is going to hold an advantage in experience and physicality, but the youth team could probably overcome that superior technique and tactical play because they're training every day. But I suppose some sort of things to think about. I would say that, for example, a Premier League under-21 team against the, say, national Tier 5 team, I would say it would be line ball, toss of the coin. If you took a strong Premier League under-21 team at full strength to play a national Tier 5, I would personally say, in my opinion, it would be sort of a toss of the coin there. If you took, say, a Premier League under-21 team to play against maybe a Tier 7 and below, I would think the 21s would win because they've got the fitness, the speed, they're training every day, the tactical ability. They'd probably be a little bit too strong, I would say, in my opinion. If you took Premier League under-18 scholars against the national Tier 5, then I would say that the Tier 5 would win. If you took Premier League under-18 scholars against the National League Tier 5, I think the senior team would win because of physical advantage. And the players have sort of been around and the competitiveness, that sort of stuff, really, to be fair. But if you took a Premier League under-18 team against a lower league, maybe step 7, step 8, I would think it'd be close. The technical superiority, and because they're training every day and the physical stamina, I would probably say the Premier League under-18 team is going to edge it because you've still got some really physically strong players there for their age. You've got some of the best playing for that sort of team. I think physically, because they're training every day as well, and tactically, they're going to probably have a little bit too much for, say, you step 7, step 8, and below. But that's my take on it. Great to hear your take on it. This is just my opinion, the way I see it, but be interesting what you've got to say on yourselves. Yeah.